Right, folks, welcome back to another carry-on cooking budget meal thing. Where we take on the government and the cost of living and try and help you people out. This is just how we go. So what this one is, folks, what's this one, June?
Beef and bean casserole, I guess.
Yeah.
Beef and bean stew.
Right, so these are the ingredients. Now,
hold on. Right, so you need about, what's that?
that's a kilo. That's a bag of spuds.
Yeah, we don't need all those. We need about 500 grams of potatoes.
Right, so half a bag.
2 tins of beans. I thought I'd got 2 of these really cheap beans, 22p each, but I haven't. So I'm having to use a tin of those. But you only need 2 tins of beans.
That tin of beans was 60 pence.
Yeah, but
yeah.
we don't usually use that. We use 2 cheapo tins of beans, a large onion diced, a large carrot sliced, 400 grams of diced stewing beef, bit of the old Liam Perrins.
Now people are saying, we can't afford it. It's what we've got in the cupboard, right? You can get the cheaper versions from Tesco's and everything like that, yeah?
It's well worth buying that though, because it peps everything up, doesn't it? And then you need, if you're going to cook it in the oven, you need 700 mils of beef stock. If you're going to do it in a slow cooker, you only need 600 mils of beef stock. So, yeah.
That's it then. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and fry the beef off, aren't we?
We are.
And we're going to go over there and you'll come with us in a second. Okie dokie. So as you can see, June has relit my fire. Some in there somewhere.
Is there? Right, nice hot pan with a bit of oil in the bottom. I'm going to fry this beef off in batches. You don't want to do it all together, otherwise what happens, it just starts to sweat and you end up with stewed beef rather than fried. So
June's turning the flame down there then.
Yeah.
What do you reckon to that beef, June? Is that any good or?
Well, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's going to be slow cooked, so. Because I bet you can get cheaper beef than that, because this just happens to be.
That's the Tesco's British diced beef.
Yeah, so you could get cheaper, but to be honest, this is so cheap, I wouldn't worry about it too much. So yeah, we'll come back when we've got all.
Well, no doubt some people will be saying worry about it, because they can't afford the expensive beef, June.
Well, I'm sure somebody will pick fault.
Yeah, somebody will pick fault on something like that, but.
Yeah, right, so we'll come back when we've got all this fried off. It's dead easy, this one. It's going to be a pretty short video.
Right, then we are back. June has fried her beef off. There that is. And what was you saying about flour, my love?
Well, you asked if I needed to dip it in flour, seasoned flour. Normally you would do, but with this, I find the sauce is pretty thick. So the idea of adding flour to your beef is it actually thickens the sauce. You don't need to with this. Now, basically, that's all the prep you need to do. We've got about 500 grams of potatoes.
We have got 500 grams.
Yeah, any potatoes will do. We're just using new because that's what we've got. We've not peeled them.
I've not peeled them because I think sometimes, can I just make a suggestion, June, as you're just throwing that all in? Can you do it in layers? Because our casserole dish is a little bit small. We might not be able to get it.
You do need a big casserole dish.
Yeah.
Ours is pretty big, but we could do with a bigger one. So
because we've got beef and the carrots and the onion and everything to go in.
Yeah, but you can adjust the quantities as well. I mean, because this does feed 6. So basically all you're doing is chucking it all in. As you see, it's getting pretty full already. And we've still got to get the beans and the stock in there. So like I say, you can use any type of beans. We usually just use 2 tins of the cheapest beans.
Yeah. These beans are just ones that we picked up a while ago.
Yeah, they're quite nice. We have had them before. 5 beans. And a richly seasoned tomato, but you don't need those. No. You don't need those. Cheapo beans are the best.
Yeah.
So that's in there now. if I try and give that a bit of a stir.
Give it a shake or something.
Yeah, it's. We need a bigger casserole dish, but anyway.
We need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
You're all thinking it. You're all thinking it.
And then you've got to try and get this stuck in there. And ooh, it's going everywhere. I usually just about manage it. I'm not going to get all that in there, but what I'll do is I'll add the rest as it cooks down a bit.
Because
it'll cook down. So what you need 700ml of stock if you're doing it in a slow cooker. You need about 600ml if you're doing it in the oven.
Do you need to salt and pepper that?
No, hold on, I've said that the wrong way round. Sorry, I forgot. Forget that. Slow cooker it's 600ml. In the oven is 700ml because obviously it dries up a bit more. Yeah. So.
Did you want to put salt and pepper in that while?
No, not yet. Oh, yeah. I've got the Worcester sauce.
Twoodle, get down. You're a naughty boy.
I mean, you can. Do you want me to season it now? I can.
I don't know, babe. I was just thinking of personal preference. I was thinking that somebody might forget or something like that.
Well, I usually like to taste it when it's started to cook. But,
yeah.
You know, you've not got to. We'll put a bit in and then we can test it later. So, a little bit of salt. Remember, your beans are likely to have salt and stuff in. I can't remember whether I put the Worcester sauce in.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, a couple of shakes of Worcester sauce, whatever's your
Can't
preference.
be a good shake.
And then put the lid on. Tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to put a bit of foil at the bottom of the oven, because that's going to leak.
Right, so we'll get this ready, and then
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
just putting some of that in the bottom. In the bottom there, because it will spill. Because, like I say, the casserole dishes. But like I say, if you don't need that, if you don't need 6 portions, you can adjust the quantity. But ow, that's really hot.
Well, you've preheated it.
I've preheated the oven, and then stick that in there, and it's got to sit in there for about 3 hours. And then the last half hour of cooking, that's on at 170. The last half hour of cooking, you need to take the lid off. The same applies with a slow cooker. You put it in the slow cooker for about 4.5 hours on high, then about another hour and a half on low, but the last half an hour you want to take the lid off just so it evaporates some of the liquid.
Hello, folks. So that's it now. Then we just leave that for
3 hours. Last half hour we take the lid off.
So 2.5 hours, take the lid off, and then leave it for the last half hour to.
It just reduces the liquid.
That's it. So we'll see you in a bit. All right. Right. So there we have had how long we had, Junie, baby?
That's
2.5 hours.
So 2 hours with the lid on it. And now I'm just putting it back in for half hour without the lid.
Yeah, just
so
let it
2
nice.
hours without the lid, and then half an hour without.
So
it just reduces the sauce. I did actually manage to get all the stock in there.
Yeah.
So,
get your stockings in there.
Yeah. So 700ml of stock went in there. You can see it's reduced down a bit. It should reduce down a bit more now we've taken the lid off.
Yeah. Okay. Right. See you in a second. So June has taken it out of the oven, and this is it, folks. That is
beef and bean stew.
Beef and bean stew. Let me just try and get a thumbnail before you start digging in.
Okay.
Or do you want to mix it up to make it look better for the thumbnail, or?
Okay. So just having the lid off thickens the sauce up a little bit. And then we'll have that with some fresh crusty bread.
Yeah. Just put it over here.
Yeah,
So.
it'd be better if you can do it in the slow cooker, but I wasn't organised enough for that because it is in the oven for quite a long time.
So there it is. So if I there's the thumbnail.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, it's better if you can do it in the slow cooker, to be honest, because it is in the oven for quite a long time and we don't really want to be having the oven on for a long time. So if you can do it in this slow cooker overnight,
That's
all
a very
the
good
better.
point, June.
All the better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because obviously if it's in a slow cooker, you're not using as much electricity
Yeah, it's something
or
like
gas.
the same as an electric light bulb, isn't it? Or something
Yeah,
like that.
so that's a good point. And yeah, so what we'll do, we're going to leave this here for now. Ginger will be back home in a bit, so we'll be tucking into this and giving you our opinions. Right, folks, so this is the
Beef and bean stew.
beef and bean stew. Ooh, nearly spilled it out the bowl. There it is. Well, you can't. It's there. It's there.
Where'd you pick the camera up?
That's a good idea. That's it. I want to get in on it as well. No, lift it up, up. That's it. Oh. Yeah, that'll do. Right. June's broke me little board, so you're on the top of the cake tin. So, Junie baby, how much did this cost?
Oh.
It's over here, sweetheart. I think it's over here. June's in a fluster. Under the tea towel.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Right, so this serves 6.
So 6 people, and now I want you people out there in the wherever you are to guess the price now. Right, Junie, give us the price.
Right, 2 tins of beans.
Yeah, I'll give that to Ginge because she wants her dinner. She's just finished work.
Oh, where can I sit?
I don't know.
Wait a minute, just 1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute.
2 tins of beans at 22 pence each. That's 44p. One
Have you given
large
us the price?
carrot.
No.
1 large carrot, 9p. Potatoes, 55p. 1 large onion, 28p. And 500 grams of diced beef, £3.49.
And the grand total is
£4.95, which works out as 83p a portion.
83p a portion. Now, there's probably, we say it's for 4, there's another 3
No, it's for 6.
for 6. Sorry.
You're
Sorry.
confusing everybody.
You fucking confused me. Right, so let's tuck into this beef and bean stew casserole thing.
Ugh.
That is tasty.
Lovely, isn't it?
That is really, really, really good, isn't it? This is once again winter food, even though we're in the middle of, well, back arse of summer.
We're just having it with some fresh crusty bread, aren't we?
Yeah. We bought a hot hot stick. You dip that in on there. You can't fault it, can you?
No, lovely.
Is this another winner, June?
This is one of my favourites. I love
Yeah.
this one.
This is a typical winter meal. So get yourselves ready, folks, for trying to save money. And how much did you say per portion?
If you're serving 6, it works out at 83p a portion.
83p a person. You can't argue with that, really. You honestly can't argue with that. Cooking from fresh, nice fresh produce. All right, tin baked beans. There you go. But it's what you got to do. Get used to it, folks. More recipes to come, haven't we, Junie baby?
Apparently so.
If people are enjoying these, let us know, and we'll do a few more. All right, folks. Laters.